So, you're an older man, maybe in your late 30s, 40s, or 50s. You've built a life, seen the world, taken hits most men wouldn't survive, and just when you think you've seen it all, she walks in, younger, vibrant, magnetic. She's got that wild mystery in her eyes, and for some reason, she sees you, not with polite small talk, but with real attention, focused, feminine. And suddenly, something flickers inside you, like life just hit reset. And if this ever happened to you, drop a like on this video. Let me know I'm not the only one who's felt that spark. It's flattering, it's exciting, and it's exactly where most men fall into a trap. They don't even see coming, because when an older man gets pulled into her orbit, he forgets who he is. He forgets the years, the scars, the quiet strength, all of it, his power. But the dopamine rush hits, and he starts shifting, softening his edges, shrinking himself, trying to fit into her world, instead of standing strong in his. That's when it flips. She stops seeing a man and starts seeing a guy trying to impress, trying to be cool, trying to win her. And just like that, the attraction dies. This video isn't about judgment. It's about clarity. It's about keeping your dignity, your masculinity, your center, even in the presence of beauty, temptation, or connection. Because when a Stoic man enters the room, he doesn't adapt. He anchors. And if you're tired of being thrown off by women who haven't lived half your life, this is your wake-up call. Stick around, because I'll show you exactly how men fall and how you rise, by doing less, not more. I did it, and it changed everything. 1. Don't be her age, be her upgrade. Here's where most older men blow it. They meet a younger woman and start shrinking. They lower their voice. They soften their edge. They start talking like her, joking like her, even dressing like her. Why? Because deep down, they think they need to relate to connect. But that's not what pulls her in. That's what pushes her away. Because the moment you try to be her peer, she stops seeing a man and starts seeing a try-hard. She doesn't want another dude in her generation. She wants a man who's been through things. A man who's solid, unfazed, and not chasing her approval. You've been places. You've taken losses. You've rebuilt your life while half her age group still lives with roommates. That's your edge. That's what she's drawn to, even if she can't explain it. And when you try to fake interest in her pop culture, when you pretend to know her favorite TikTok influencer or Netflix series, she knows. She feels it in her gut, and it kills the attraction instantly. So what do you do instead? You stay grounded. You stay still. You let her race around in her youthful chaos while you anchor the room. She's not testing your cool, she's testing your center. You don't need to play her game. You are the upgrade. Picture this. She brings up some 23-year-old influencer on a date. Don't fake it. Don't scroll your phone like you care. Just smile. And say, I don't follow that stuff. I like conversations that don't disappear in 24 hours. That's impact. That's presence. That's you not pretending. And that's what makes her lean in. Because when you stop trying to match her, you become the man she's been waiting to meet. 2. Don't let her turn you into her therapist. This is where most older men get blindsided. You think you're building connection, but what you're really building is a cage. She starts opening up, telling you about her ex who messed her up, her daddy issues, her anxiety, her healing era. And because you're mature, stable, emotionally grounded, you listen, you offer advice. You want to be the one who gets her, not like those guys her age. But what you don't see is this. You're becoming her emotional support animal, her go-to vent line, her free therapist, her midnight talk-me-down hotline. and you think, if I'm the one who understands her, she'll fall for me. Wrong. You're not building desire. You're building a trauma container. You're letting her offload her chaos into your calm, while telling yourself it's intimacy. It's not. It's emotional codependency, with a smile. Because here's the truth. A high-value man doesn't confuse presence with people-pleasing. He doesn't hand over his peace just to feel needed. He listens, but doesn't chase. He cares, but doesn't fix. He stands still, even when she spirals. She doesn't want you to solve her mess. She wants to feel your stability while she moves through it. That's your power. Not rescuing, not over-empathizing, not being the hero. Just holding frame, letting her know, you can be wild, but I'm not stepping into the storm with you. That makes her feel safe. That makes her curious. That makes her want you. Because she doesn't need another boy to carry her baggage. She needs a man who won't flinch when she unpacks it. Have you ever been the man she leaned on for everything, but never the one she actually wanted? If you've been there, drop a comment and tell me how it played out. And if it's too personal to share, just hit the like button. I'll know you felt it. 3. Stop performing. She's not applauding. Here's the silent assassin of attraction, the one most men never even see coming. You start chasing her validation, not with desperate pleas, not with obvious neediness, but with subtle betrayals of your own power. You shower her with compliments she hasn't earned. You let those words spill out, cheapening their value. You wait hours, sometimes days, for her replies. Then you act like it's just whatever. You pretend it's fine, but inside you're constantly checking your phone, your mind hijacked. You nod along, agreeing with things you don't believe in, just to keep the vibe good. You silence your own voice, your own truth, all for a fleeting moment of peace. On the surface, it doesn't look weak. It looks like you're being nice, being chill. But she feels it, every single time. Every time you twist yourself into a pretzel to win her approval, to earn that little nod of acceptance. You lose your edge. You bleed your power. You stop being the man. You become the act. You're not leading. You're performing. You're on stage, bathed in a spotlight you paid for with your self-respect. And she's not clapping. She's calculating. See, younger women, sometimes without even realizing it, are constantly testing your frame. They pull back. They go quiet. They act confusing, throwing curveballs just to see if you'll flinch, just to see if you'll break. If you chase, you lose. Period. Not because you're unworthy, not because you're not good enough, but because you're signaling loud and clear that her fleeting attention, her unpredictable approval, is more valuable than your own integrity, your own self-worth. And that flips the power dynamic instantly. You hand her the reins, and suddenly you're the one being driven. Because deep down, what she truly craves isn't a shadow. She wants a rock, unshakable, immovable, not a ripple in her personal pond. She wants a man who doesn't orbit her world. He builds his own damn gravity. You text her? Great, you put it out there. She delays her response? You don't react. You don't spiral. You don't craft a follow-up text. You don't double text. You don't triple text. You don't beg for her digital presence. You move. You build. You stay on your mission. Your life doesn't revolve around her inbox. That is masculine energy she can't manipulate. That's the strength she can't fake. And here's the brutal truth, the one nobody talks about. Most older men chase because they secretly believe they're running out of time. They think if she walks away, it's their last shot at youth, at connection, at excitement, at feeling alive. But that's not truth. That's panic disguised as love. That's scarcity mindset, and it reeks of desperation. Your value isn't found in how cool or agreeable you are, or how many hoops you can jump through. It's in how absolutely unshakable you remain when the winds shift, when she tests you, when the world tries to bend you. So, for the love of God, stop performing. Stop tiptoeing around her moods like a fragile china doll. Stop bending your principles, your boundaries, just to keep the peace. Peace without self-respect is not peace. It's weakness. It's surrender. You don't need her validation. You need your standards, your integrity, your own damn self-respect. Hold those. Guard them with your life. And watch how fast she starts chasing you. 4. Stop trying to impress. Start leading. All right, listen up, because here's the brutal truth. If you're still playing the impress her game, you've already given her all your power, and that one fatal shift from leading to performing, that's where 90% of men completely lose their edge, and most don't even realize it. You take her to a fancy restaurant, not because it's genuinely your scene, but because you're desperately hoping she'll be blown away. You fire off a clever compliment, not because it's authentic, but because you're terrified a moment of silence will make her lose interest. You ask, "So, what do you want to do?" instead of actually knowing exactly where you're taking her. And you tell yourself you're being thoughtful. But what you're really doing, you're auditioning. When you try to impress, you've made her the judge. And you've made yourself the contestant. That whole vibe, even if your words are smooth, it just feels off. She's not looking for a man who bends over backward to win her over. She wants a man who's rock solid in his own world. You don't need to be flashy. You need to be certain. And real leadership isn't loud. It's not about dominating. It's not about barking orders. It's quiet. It's grounded. It's pure masculine direction. You say, "Let's go here." Not, "So what do you feel like?" You say, "I'll see you at 7. Not, "What time works best for you, maybe?" And when she gets emotional, when things get intense, you don't freak out or react. You stay still, present, unshaken. That, my friend, is emotional leadership. And it's the rarest damn thing she'll ever experience. A man who lives by principle doesn't chase approval. He moves with purpose. Just like the philosopher Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because the man who truly leads doesn't care what it looks like. He only cares that it's true. Now, here's the game changer. Most guys try to grab a woman's attention by putting on a show, but the man who truly commands respect does it by simply being unmoved. She brings that youthful, vibrant energy. You meet it with your deep, masculine stillness. That's the powerful polarity that makes her lean in, not your bank account, not your resume, and definitely not some cheesy pickup line. You don't have to impress, you have to lead. And the exact moment you start doing that, she'll stop testing you, and she'll start trusting you. Ever found yourself rehearsing the perfect line just to keep her attention? Drop "I lead from center" in the comments if you're done performing, or hit like if you've ever felt yourself chasing approval just to keep the vibe right. 5. Stop fantasizing about her. Start seeing clearly. All right, you just met her. She's young, she's beautiful, maybe even stunning. She's throwing you some attention, probably more than you even expected. And before that second date even hits, your mind's already fast-forwarding to the 10th. You're picturing vacations, meeting the family, maybe even a whole future together. You start to fantasize, not about who she actually is, but about who she might become if everything went perfectly. That's the trap. Because the second your brain goes into hyperdrive, racing ahead like that, you literally stop seeing her for who she truly is. You're no longer dating the real woman in front of you. You're dating your own damn imagination. Suddenly, every red flag she throws out becomes just a cute little quirk. Every time she's emotionally distant, oh, that's just a phase. Every single inconsistency, you're quick to excuse it because you're already emotionally locked into the perfect version of her you built in your head. And here's the absolute worst part. She feels it. Not from your words, usually, but from your energy. She feels the unspoken pressure. She feels your desperate pace. And instead of seeing a confident, grounded man, she feels someone trying to lock down a future with a woman who's still just living in the moment. You stop actually observing. You start blindly projecting. And then, when she vanishes or ghosts you 3 months down the line, you're not actually grieving her. You're grieving a complete fantasy you constructed all by yourself. That's the real cost of going all in too early. Because the more you emotionally invest without true clarity, the more you straight up ignore the vital signs that actually matter. Disrespect, flakiness, emotional immaturity. You rationalize it all away because your heart has already mentally moved in. And as a man with hard-earned experience, genuine wisdom, and real value, you absolutely cannot afford to waste your time and energy on mere potential. As Epictetus wisely put it, when you're about to put your hand to something, remind yourself what it is. Dating isn't about daydreaming about the future. It's about sharply observing the now. So, stay grounded. Be curious, absolutely, but don't commit too soon. Watch for actual patterns in her behavior, not just empty promises. If she's consistent, respectful, and genuinely emotionally mature, awesome. That's a great start. But do not assume she's the one. Until you've actually seen how she handles conflict, how she deals with boredom, and how she navigates real-life challenges. Initial attraction is easy, but true compatibility, that's revealed in the trenches of reality, not in some idealized fantasy. Here's the Stoic move, the powerful play. Slow way down on the emotional gas pedal. Stay present, and just let her truly reveal herself, piece by piece, over time. Because when you finally stop chasing what might be, you finally get to see what truly is. 6. Stop buying her time. Start being the man she can't ignore. All right, guys, there's a quiet lie too many older men swallow. If I just give enough, if I plan all the dates, pay every bill, shower her with gifts, she'll stick around. But here's the cold, hard truth. You don't buy a younger woman's genuine attention. Not the kind that actually matters. Not the kind that ever lasts. You command it. By the way you carry yourself. By what you refuse to chase. Because every single time a man overspends, whether it's his money, his energy, or all that emotional labor, he's screaming one thing: my value is totally external, and if I don't keep performing, she's gonna walk. And when she senses that, yeah, she might hang around. But it's not because she's genuinely into you. It's because it's convenient. That's not desire, fellas. That's pure dependency. And for an older man, that's the absolute death of polarity. A younger woman doesn't need a sugar daddy. She doesn't want a butler, a yes man, or her personal therapist. What she craves is a clear signal that you've built your own damn world, that your time is scarce, your energy is laser-focused, and your core doesn't budge for anyone. You don't impress her with what you spend. You impress her with what you withhold. That is real power. Not desperately trying to prove you're enough, but moving like you already are. Just like the emperor, Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You don't perform, you embody. You don't chase her approval. You live with relentless purpose. Let me show you the difference. Ethan was 50, she was 27. They crossed paths at a professional mixer. She was stunning, confident, and clearly used to men orbiting her, throwing compliments, favors, attention. But Ethan? He didn't flinch. He didn't start performing. He set the time, set the place. No back and forth games, no chasing texts, no nervous follow-ups. When she pulled back to test his frame, he held his ground. No explanations, no extra effort, just steady, grounded presence. And that's when it flipped. Suddenly, she was the one reaching out, the one adjusting her schedule, the one chasing his attention, not because he tried harder, but because he didn't need to. He wasn't looking for her energy, he was filtering it. That's how you command attention, by living a life that doesn't beg for her validation, but quietly challenges her to rise up and deserve a seat next to you. 7. Stop handing her the keys to your soul. You've been through storms, wins, losses, betrayals. You've rebuilt when others would have crumbled. That's not just experience, that's weight, that's depth, that's your masculine gravity. But here's where most older men screw it up. They hand that depth away to someone who hasn't earned a damn thing yet. She's young, she's pretty, she asks a few deep questions, and suddenly you're pouring your story out like it's a therapy session. Your regrets, your fears, your childhood pain, your philosophy on love. And she didn't even need to show up, just smile, nod, and let you do the work. Let me be clear, depth that isn't earned gets disrespected, not because she's cruel, but because you made it too cheap. See, women, especially younger ones, don't respect what's freely handed over. They respect what's held with pride and given with discernment. You think being vulnerable makes you seem deep. But real masculine depth isn't loud. It's restrained. It's powerful because it's guarded. You don't open your inner world to a woman who hasn't proven emotional maturity. She may be curious, sweet, and great at asking deep questions. But depth isn't a vibe. It's a responsibility. And not every woman deserves access to yours. Test her before you trust her. Watch how she reacts to conflict. See how she handles stress, jealousy, boundaries. Don't rush to unpack your soul. See if she even has space to hold it. This isn't about being cold. It's about having standards. You don't give her the keys to your story. You make her knock, and knock again, until you choose to open that door. Because when a woman earns your truth, she values it. She holds it like a treasure, not a toy. Let her feel the weight of who you are before she ever touches it. If you've made it this far, you're not like most men. You're not chasing trends. You're not performing for women. You're rebuilding the man you were born to be. And that's exactly why this channel exists. So if something in today's message hit different, if it called something out in you that most people ignore, hit subscribe right now, not just to watch, to walk with brothers doing this same inner work. And remember this, you're not chasing her, you're becoming him. See you tomorrow, same place, stronger mindset.